So in this video I will explain how to create an AI. The first thing I recommend to do is to plan what the AI will do. So the AI will create, let's say this is my spaceship, and this is the other one. It will try to get to the same vertical level. So it will go, let's say, over here. And when it's on the same vertical level, it will shoot on the other spaceship. So to create the AI, you want to copy the empty template from the more AIs directory to the players AI one. So Control C, Control V. Now you would want to name your AI. So let's call it test 1. Okay, now this is the empty template. It starts with package this thing, which is the directory the AI is on. In order for the AI to be in the competition, it has to be inside the player's AI directory. The imports are those, and you can add more if you need to. Now, very important is the AI will be public class, then the AI name, and it has to implement the AI interface. Now, the first thing you want to do is to think what upgrades your AI will need. So my AI needs to move up and down, which means it needs probably some speed on those directions. So I will upgrade my left and right thrusters. So left thruster to level 5 for now, and right thruster for level 5. Another thing it would need is some good guns on the front and on the back. So copy this, front gun range, front gun speed, and front gun damage, and the same for the back gun. Okay, now let's implement the moving first. So we would want to know the difference between our current position and the other AI position, which is that length. So let's create a float, let's call it dy, and it's equal to my spaceship, which is that argument, dot get y position, and minus the other spaceship get y position. Now, if the dy is greater than 0, we want to move let's do right for now, and we could change it later if it's wrong. Else, which means it's less than 0, move to the other side, so left faster. Now we want to test the AI, so we'll go to the run match and change which AI we want. So our AI is test 1, and let's use the empty AI to test, because it will do nothing and it's good for us. So to run it, you will run the run match main function. So the blue one is our AI. Yeah, and it seems right. It's trying to get to the same Y level. Okay, great. Now we want to do something similar for the shooting. So I'll just copy what we did, and I will change to dx, dx, and dx. Actually, no, it still need to be dy. Now we want to do that if the dy, actually, if the absolute value of dy is greater than, let's say, 30 pixels, which means if that distance is smaller than 30, and we use absolute value because if this one will be on the other side, it will be negative distance and we need it to be positive. If it's less than 30, we will shoot. Now we need to decide which direction we want to shoot. So if the other eye is on the right, we'll shoot to the right. If it's on the left, we'll shoot to the left. So now we need the dx, and let's change it to x. Now if the dx is greater than 0, shoot to that direction, else we will shoot backward. So let's check it again. Why it's not shooting? Oh, we don't have enough energy to shoot. So what we could do is to go back to the upgrades and to upgrade the energy generator to, let's say, level 10. Let's see if we have enough energy now. Still not. So let's do level 20 and 10, 40. So let's comment those for now. Okay, it is shooting now, but not to the right direction. So we'll flip the front gun and the back gun. Okay, now the problem we have is that because the spaceship has an initial velocity, the bullet will get that initial velocity. So if the spaceship is moving up and shoots while it's going, the bullet will shoot like this way, the bullet will go that way. So a solution for that could be to account to the movement, of course. So like shoot a little bit earlier. So if we are here and we know we have this velocity and the other AI is here, we will shoot when we are here and not when we get a little bit more upward. But the solution I will implement is if we have velocity and we are about the same y level as the other AI, we will slow down and then the effect of the velocity will be smaller. So instead of going like this, it will go just a little bit upward, and it will not have this great of an effect. So another thing I will do first is if we are close enough to the same y level, so let's say like this, it's not zero, but it's close enough. So I will have a variable let's say 20, and I will try to get at the same y level only if I'm far enough. So if the dy is greater than pixels, or you know what, we actually can just use the number itself, else if the dy is smaller than the negative of that number. So we will accelerate upward only if we are far enough down, and we will accelerate downward only if we are far enough up. Okay, now else it means we are close enough, so we want to decelerate. So we will get our velocity, which is my spaceship dot get y velocity, because we need the velocity on the y direction. And if the velocity is greater than, let's say, 1, or let's leave it at 0, we will use the right thruster, else we'll use the left thruster. So an optimization can be that if we have small enough velocity, which is not 0 but let's say 0.1, we don't really need to decelerate. Like it's close enough and we may prefer to save energy. So let's see how this thing is working. Yeah, looks good. Let's check it again. Yeah, looks good. Wait, I want them to have some distance so I could see what is happening. Now, when it first gets to the same level, wait, I'll show it. There is that arc because we still have a velocity. So I think we could do is for the shoot is if we are at the same about the same y level and the velocity get y velocity, and we need the absolute value of this is smaller than, let's say, 1. So only if we are on the same level, and still we'll shoot. Okay, good. Now we commented the upgrades, so the last thing I always do is balance everything. So let's see. I don't think we need to go that fast, so let's decrease the acceleration to, let's say, 3. A good practice is to create a variable for the power, so let's do it. A float, or rather integer, fast power, let's set it to 3, power, and then we'll use the variable instead of the number, and then we could just change it over here if we need to, which is much easier. You may want to create a variable for the dy threshold, and maybe create a velocity threshold, which will make it easier, and maybe for the levels too, but this is good for now. So let's see. Okay, now we have energy to move and shoot. So let's put them back. Okay, so what is happening? We move and then we waste all our energy on shooting, which I guess is good, like we want to do as much damage as possible. Now, I think I always do at the end is check how much upgrade points I am using. So system.println upgrade data dot we need the object, not the class, upgrade data with small u dot calculate upgrade cost. So right now the maximum amount of upgrade points we can use is 50, and if we will use too much it will decrease random stuff, and it's bad because then we don't know our real upgrades. So let me decrease some of the things we don't need. Probably level 10 of this will be fine, which now it will be 50. Yeah, I guess it is fine. Okay. And yeah, and we are done.